Welcome back to the fan translation of Gyakuten Saiban 3, aka Comeback Courtroom, Comeback Memories. Uh, in the last episode, we were cross-examining Phoenix, right? Trying to find out about the murder of Jack Richford. And this episode, we're gonna meet the most important witness. If you've played Trials and Tribulations, which I'm sure you have, it would be wild if this is your first experience of the game, but I guess it must have been someone's when this came out in 2006, I think it was. We're going to hopefully finish it today, and then we're going to look into the history behind this interesting little piece of attorney history. So, it's 11:52 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby 3. Yeah, thank you. I'm glad you finally told the truth, Mr. Phoenix. Yes. So I'm safe now, right? Safe? You're barely out the frying pan, boy. Hiding important evidence for no reason. But the next witness is Dahl I, right? I'm sure she'll help me get out of this. Why do you think that? Because she's my soulmate, after all. Your soulmate, is it? Could you tell me a little about it? The phrase, the use of "is it" is a little bit. It makes me think that was in the original Japanese desu ka, because it would be "is she" is a more natural translation. Just a minor critique. Can you tell me a bit about it, about your relationship with her? Yes, with pleasure. We met 6 months ago in this very courthouse. I'm studying to be a lawyer. We happened to bump into each other in the basement reference room. Truly, I was destined to meet her that day. As soon as I saw her, my whole world turned upside down. Look at this! The minute we met, she gave me this, a symbol of love. She gently removed it from her pearly white neck. I want you to have this, she murmured sweetly into my ear. So this necklace is a present from her, is it? A little bottle for storing sweet little memories. Right, it really is a little bottle on his chain. Oh, I was in the clouds. I showed it off to everyone I met, to share a little bit of my joy with the world. Dolores is present, a kitsch gold and a golden necklace with a little bottle, given to Phoenix in the Daily Mint. Anyway, then you started going out with her. Dahl I always had a shy side to her. After that, every time we met, she said, "Could you return that necklace to me after all?" How strange, to want back something that was freely given. By the way, Mr. Phoenix, I'll wager the day you met was half a year ago on August 27th. How did you know that? On August 27th, in this courthouse, this incident occurred. That's a newspaper clipping. Sudden death in the courthouse? Death? But what? Let me borrow that a minute. I see now. Mia, I think I figured it out. Why you suddenly decided to take this case. The incident in this news story must have something to do with today's... I know there's a connection. We have newspaper clipping article from August 28th of last year. Press L for details. We'll give that a little look now. Dolores present, yeah. Sudden death in the courthouse. A young lawyer dropped dead yesterday in the district court cafeteria yesterday. Police are not speculating on the cause at this time, but note that he had no known health problems. A female university student present at the scene is being interrogated. Okay, that's interesting. If this is a more direct translation from the Japanese, the headline is murder in the courthouse in the official translation. They changed it to sudden death in the courthouse. Police are not speculating on the cause, and a female investigation has been present. Whereas in the official translation, they make it clear from the start that they suspect her of murder. So, Mr. Grossberg, I'm sorry I kicked you.
However, we still don't have sufficient information. Alright, I shall go downstairs to the reference room.
Thank you.
I'm doing this for you, mate. Let's take this as far as we can. Anyway, recess is almost over. Time to get cracking.
So, we meet again, Dolores Willow. It's time to confront my arch nemesis once more. To be continued. Immediately, 12:13 p.m. District Court, Courtroom 2.
Recess is over. Proceedings shall now resume. Prosecutor Payne, please call in your next witness.
I shall now introduce this case's decisive witness. Dolores Willow, please take the stand.
What's with this? Okay, that's a bit more of an explicit line than the official translation. What's with this sexually charged silence?
In my years of judging, I have been fooled by witnesses many times. I swore to myself that I would never trust anyone again. But this charming young lady, I'd believe anything she says.
The fruits of long experience.
Ah, witness, could you tell us your name and profession?
I'm a little nervous.
It's alright, miss. We're all your friends here.
If anyone is rude to you, I'll give them a good verbal smacking.
Indeed, if anyone were to do so, I would whack them with my gavel.
I think they were looking at me while they said that. I'm so relieved. Thanks so much. You're such a warm and kind gentleman.
No, it's only natural.
Please, please.
Well then, could you finally tell us your name and profession? My name is Dolores Willow. I'm a third-year literature student at famous university. It's a pleasure to meet you all.
The pleasure is all mine.
I am pleased to meet you. Very pleased indeed.
This is going to be an uphill battle. My dear new friends,
What is it, dearie?
Feel free to tell your friends anything you like.
I think there must have been some mistake. My dear Nixie can't be the murderer. He wouldn't hurt a fly. It's interesting they went for Nixie as this was Phoenix's nickname, where it's Feeny in the official translation.
Yes, indeed.
Okay. Is this what actually was in Japanese, or is this a creative liberty here? What a slimy little Lolita. It took her about 10 seconds with the judge in her pocket.
Well then, witness, could you please begin your testimony? Describe what you saw on the day of the incident.
Shogenkaishi. What Dolores saw. After class ended, I thought I would go back to see Nixie. Behind the medicine building, Nixie was talking with Richie. Suddenly, Richie staggered and fell down. Then Nixie realized I was watching. I ran to other students to call for help.
Ooh, what is this? According to this testimony, the defendant didn't lift a finger.
Miss, I too would have wanted to protect my lover when I was your age. But we men of the court are here to discover the truth. Could you please tell us what really... but I would never dream of telling.
That's alright, witness.
I wonder what's going on here.
At any rate, let me conduct the cross-examination. I intend to get to the bottom of this.
I see you haven't changed a bit. Miss Mia Fey. Are you two acquainted?
Indeed, we've met before.
At any rate, counsel, commence the cross-examination.
Please go ahead.
Auntie?
Auntie?
Yeah. Okay, that's definitely like Oba or Oba-chan in Japanese. I think she just calls her an old hag in the official translation, you know, made it a bit more explicit. It was supposed to be the derogatory sort of, you're an old woman.
Jumon Kaichi.
So we've got the first cross-examination of Dolores here. I'm just gonna select save state there.
Nixie, I mean, Mr. Phoenix is in the Faculty of Arts, isn't he? Why then was he behind the medicine building?
I happen to be studying Senryu poetry right now.
Oh, it so happens I am a great Senryu aficionado.
I didn't actually do keep the fact that she's studying Senryu in the official translation, if I remember correctly.
Reckless pursuit. Every road leads to failure. A wall.
And the like.
I get the feeling she's insinuating something.
To go to the arts building, you need to walk behind the medicine building.
I see. In my case as well, to reach this courtroom, I have the habit of walking through the courthouse entrance.
No, really?
This Richie you mentioned would be... I mean Jack Richford. I dated him half a year ago.
Richie, I mean,
Mr. Richford was saying what exactly?
How dare you to imply that I was eavesdropping on them? I'm not such a vulgar little woman.
Indeed, young lady.
Do not project your own tendencies onto the witness.
Ugh.
Well now, witness, what did you see after that?
You're saying that the victim spontaneously collapsed? That's right.
The defendant did not touch the victim, is that correct?
Yes, I saw it. Nixie didn't do a thing.
If I press it without purpose, the judge will get angry. What's going on with this testimony? I'm gonna say it's fine for now, just so I can press everything else. I guess I'll let it pass, it's to my advantage after all. Let's not explore this avenue any further.
Oh no, dearie, please carry on with your testimony.
The crazy thing is, we could just let this testimony stand, and if it goes unchallenged, then we could just win the case. Same with Phoenix's first testimony, really. But, you know, Mia has a goal in mind, it's to catch this woman right here. I wish they hinted at that in the first testimony rather than gross poking. Like,
Defense attorneys must always cross-examine, you know.
because it's just not accurate. They are supposed to, you know, have a goal at least. What did you say to Mr. Phoenix at that point?
I'm sorry. I was so distraught. I don't remember at all. I'm so sorry.
You don't remember?
It's only natural. I sometimes forget my own verdicts.
This man should be on the Supreme Court. shade being thrown there. Although, considering the current political circumstance of America, that's kind of relevant, topically. Topical, even. These other students would be medical students? Yes, they are very good at medicine after all. I'm pretty sure in the official translation they made that line. They do love their drugs, which, you know, that's kind of an upgrade. That's irrelevant. These students would be those in the nearby laboratory. That was my plan, but finally I didn't go. At the entrance, a group of 10 students rushed out. It seemed they all knew about what had happened. The students knew about the incident? Let it drop for now. These medical students have nothing to do with the incident. Let's ask more about Dolores herself. She's telling these lies to shed good light on her character. She thinks she'll give the impression she really loves him. You can outmaneuver this woman, Mia. See through her act and eventually find the real contradiction. Now we'll go back and ask properly about. Why did these students know about the incident? I'm not sure if they actually knew about it. Maybe they all just suddenly felt the need for fresh air. Does it all get anything further about the students? They're the ones who informed the police! Yes, I was so anxious I could barely walk.
Hum, poor young miss.
Yeah, we've read this one. Now we just need to ask about the big contradictions. I think there's enough lies for now, Miss Willow. But I... Young lady, how dare you insult the witness in this manner? If you have an objection, please supply grounds for it. Indeed, I mean, Stop staring at me like that! How about it, Miss Willow? The defendant's fingerprints were found on Mr. Richford's coat. That Mr. Phoenix struck Mr. Richford has already been established. Huh? I don't need your lies to prove that my client is innocent. Instead, I'd like you to tell us the truth.
We understand, dearie. Feel free to alter your testimony.
Yes, alright. Let me make some changes to my account. That's one small step forward, Mia. I didn't see the moment when Nixie hit Richie. You didn't see it? I saw when Richie collapsed, though. At that point in time, there were only 2 people at the scene. Phoenix Wright and Chuck Richford. Well, yes, as you say. They didn't seem to be fighting, and I didn't hear any loud noises. So, how exactly did they appear to you? It looked like a friendly afternoon chat. Not likely. As I said, I wasn't looking at them too closely.
Was there anything else out of the ordinary?
No, nothing. Please, Grandpa, I'm feeling a bit nervous.
Yes, that has a nice ring to it, Grandpa. Please continue your testimony.
We've got the contradiction here. First I want to say, we can see all of the failure dialects. We saw one of them last time. So I'll I'll just present random evidence. The umbrella. Your Honor, this testimony is completely and totally false.
Perhaps it is.
It is, isn't it? That's what I figured.
Unfortunately, you have no evidence upon which to base your claims.
Eh?
The objection is rejected. Give your statements more thought, counsel.
The judge just got a little more annoyed. How about the bar? Your Honor, what do you think of the witness's last statement?
I don't think anything at all, really.
Actually, I don't have any particular objections to it either.
No, this won't do, counsel. Think a little more before you speak.
It's like this wasn't the right line of attack. The newspaper. Oh. Could also be Grossberg. Your Honor, this testimony is completely and totally false.
Perhaps it is.
It is, isn't it? That's what I figured. Oh yeah, we had this. Is there any more? We want to see the failure dialogue as well. Okay. It has to be Cold Killer Z. Actually, I keep getting Grossberg. I'm going to try Grossberg. His testimony blatantly contradicts the evidence.
Where would that be? I don't see anything.
I don't really see it either.
Invisible evidence is not accepted in this court. I've heard enough. I see no reason to continue with these proceedings. All the facts are clear. There is no room for doubt. And I pronounce the defendant Phoenix right.
Oh, I just saw that then.
Use I.
They used the twice.
The defendant Phoenix right. Within a month, a regular trial at a high court will take place. Court is hereby adjourned.
Had a bit of a bit glitchy there, but we know what the actual contradiction is. I mean, I've played this game before anyway, but it's also been obvious here. You say you didn't hear any loud noises, is that right? Yes, that's why I wasn't watching them closely. That's mighty odd. I have here the testimony of your boyfriend, Phoenix Wright. The record clearly states the following. The moment I hit him, I heard a sharp, loud noise. Loud noise? If you were standing close to them, why didn't you hear it? Perhaps you just didn't notice it. According to Mr. Phoenix, the noise was a loud kapish crack. No person could fail to notice it. Ah! May I make a comment?
What is it, dearie?
There's a detail I forgot to mention. Actually, I was listening to music on headphones. Headphones? Covering both your ears? The sky had been getting so dark and cloudy. I was afraid Mr. Lightning might strike. Badoom, badoom, badoom. Mr. Lightning? I think in the official translation it's something about like Thor coming out to play or something. He made it a bit more. It would, did you just say Kaminari-san in Japanese? I'm so scared of lightning. I wanted something to drown it out. What do you think, Your Honor? The so-called contradiction has vanished.
Hum.
Wait a minute, Nia. There's something important here. There's a key point I can use to turn the case around. Okay. The music. Your Honor, there is a serious problem with this testimony.
What might that be, counsel?
What in the name of... Of course, the fact that she was listening to music. What testimony have you been listening to? Hasn't that just been explained? She was afraid of lightning.
Counsel, the thunder of my gavel is equally fearsome. Rats. I see we've reached a conclusion. The only person who could have killed him was Phoenix Wright.
No, I didn't want this.
This is bad. I need to get out of this mess. Think quick in this testimony. It's a key point I can use. The short points. Your Honor, there is a serious problem with this testimony.
What might that be, Counsel?
What in the name of... Of course, the fact that she didn't hear the sharp, loud noise. What testimony have you been listening to? Hasn't that just been explained? She was wearing headphones.
Counsel, I hope you are not going senile before I.
Rats. So, we'll just skip back in. Your Honor, there's a serious problem with this testimony.
What in the name of...
Haven't you noticed? The lightning.
What about it, Counsel?
Lightning is actually a bolt of electricity, isn't it?
I knew that, Counsel!
What's a common form of death by electric shock? Your Honor, the victim was struck by lightning. Oh!
Indeed, I had not considered that possibility.
Does he ever have ideas of his own? It was a mistake to assume that Jack Richard was murdered. The victim was killed by accident. It's actually, you know, very enlightening about Mia's character here, because even though her whole point, the whole reason she did this was to get something on Dahlia, she's willing to accept that it might just be an accidental death and still do anything she can to get Phoenix not guilty, which is nice, you know. Pure character, purity. Selflessness.
Indeed, the claims of the defense are highly plausible. The victim may well have died by an act of God.
Alright, Mia. This should be sufficient to establish reasonable doubt. Ha 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 ha! You underestimate the prosecution once again, young lady. Huh? We carefully read the weather reports before the trial. On that day, no lightning fell in the vicinity of the incident. What? In addition, there is proof the power line was involved in the murder.
Prosecutor Payne, what could that possibly...
This statement.
A statement? But whose?
From the students performing experiments in the laboratory. They stated the following. At approximately 3 p.m., there was a sudden power outage in our equipment.
Power outage?
The equipment used the high voltage line in question. Might the outage have been when the line was... Precisely. Power went out when the line was cut. I emphasize the power went out at 3 p.m.
That coincides nearly with the time of death in the autopsy report.
Precisely. The only possible conclusion, the victim touched the live power line and died from shock. According to the students, the line had been getting unusually stiff. Repairs were planned within the next week.
Is that so?
We may surmise the slightest shock risked breaking the line. Student statement on April 9th, 2:55 p.m. The decrepit power line received a shock and broke.
However, if that is so, I have one concern. If any shock would break the line, the fact remains. Without some shock, however small, it would not have broken.
Well, I suppose so.
What does the fence think of all this? Do you have any ideas of what this small shock might have been?
Your Honor, these revelations put me in a disadvantage. If I want to counterattack, I mustn't fall into a trap. Understood. I will present my interpretation.
Make use of the documents from the court record to state your position. Why did the power line break? The cause of the shock was...
wasn't it my badge? Of course, this sliced through the power line. Your Your Honor, what do you think?
The only thing sliced through here is the defense's lifeline.
Indeed, Your Honor. Your wit is cutting. Ugh, that stings. Please, Your Honor, give me another chance.
Make use of the documents, blah 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 blah. Of course the shock was...
This little dweeb right here. Your Honor, recall Mr. Phoenix's testimony.
The defendant?
When he hit the victim, he heard a sharp, loud noise. The noise sounded like a kapish crack. That was at 3 p.m.
Indeed. So you are claiming that...
The experimental apparatus failed at 2:55 p.m. The blow that cut the power line was Mr. Phoenix's. Precisely. The prosecution concurs. At that moment, Chuck Richford was electrocuted. That does not follow. Excuse me? Record the place where the blow was struck, where the umbrella lay on the photo. In other words, near the utility pole. Yes, after being struck, the victim collided with the pole. The shock reverberated through it, and then the line broke.
That would seem everything fits together nicely then.
On the contrary, a glaring problem has arisen. The line broke quite a distance from the pole. The victim couldn't possibly have been electrocuted at that moment. In other words, someone else must be responsible for electrocution. For the electrocution even. Not just electrocution in general, which obviously was caused by Thor. Or lightning son.
Order! Order! I will have order.
Ah yes, the scream of my enemy is sweet music indeed. Well, you know, it's not really that sweet. Metaphorically it is, but it just sounds like a weird old man's screech.
Indeed, the defense's argument leaves no room for doubt. The defendant could not possibly have murdered Chuck Richford.
Grandpa, may I make a little comment? What I witnessed differs slightly from Miss Faye's account. What? May I add to my testimony? Just once more, dear Grandpa?
Of course, of course. Let us all listen to what the witness has to say.
Well, well, well. So little Dolores wasn't telling the truth after all. Shogun Kaishi, what Dolores saw, too. Nixie hit Richie twice. The first time, Richie hit the utility pole and the power line broke. After that, Richie desperately tried to escape, but Nixie followed and gave him a body blow in the back. Between the first blow and Richie's death, not even a minute passed.
So after being struck once, the victim got up and ran towards the line.
There he was hit again, but the defendant touched the live wire. I feel so bad for Nixie, but I think I have to tell the truth. Is that alright, Grandpa?
Yes, I'm pleased your honesty finally came through. Well then, counsel, commence the cross-examination.
Jinmon Kaishi. What Dolores saw, too. Time to start pressing. Witness, a few minutes ago you made the following claim. I didn't see the moment when Nixie hit Richie. I'm so sorry, I thought I had to protect Nixie. So you lied? How's the bad little girl? Grandpa?
What is it, Jerry?
Will you please forgive naughty little Dolores? Of course not! What you did is called perjury and it's—
No! Mr. Judge will always be your friend. We'll let it pass just this once, but be careful not to do it again.
Oh, I'm so happy. Thanks so much, Grandpa.
Please, it's nothing.
This man is like a department store Santa Claus. You see Richie hit the utility pole. Did you see this with your own eyes? Nixie's a very naughty boy. Naughty? Really, breaking that power line. Dixie was really a little Mr. Bully Boy.
A troublesome Mr. Bully Boy indeed.
Come on, that kid? Really? That's what Judge should be saying if he wasn't being such a horny little bastard right now. So, as you were observing this, you continue to listen to music on your headphones. Yeah? Miss Faye! Cease taking cheap pot shots at the witness! I was so afraid, I was petrified. All I could do was cheer them on in my heart. Cheer? Yes. Go, fight! Like...
Pretty little girls had a bloodthirsty heart, as they say. I don't mind that.
You are one fucking weirdo, Your Honor. Well then, witness, what happened after that? That's rather strange. Mr. Phoenix's fingerprints were found on the front of the jacket. Prosecutor Payne with their fingerprints on the back. No, but... Auntie, have you been listening to what I said? Nixie gave him a body blow. Of course aren't any fingerprints. Ugh. So, as you saw the moment when Jack Richard was electrocuted? I'm sorry, I didn't see the exact moment. I couldn't bear to see it. I lowered my eyes. That's a reasonable explanation. Was that first line a typo or did I read it wrong? I'm actually curious. I'm going to go back and check that in a sec.
It must have indeed been a shocking sight.
Second fact is a decisive contradiction in this testimony. I'm finished for sure. That girl had almost no time to think of a good lie. I'm sure there's a gaping hole somewhere in here. I already know what the contradiction is, so I'm gonna save on that point. Yeah, I've just wrote that wrong. So you saw the moment when Jack Richard was electrocuted. So, if you take a look at the second crime photo here, his watch is stopped at the time of death. Oh yeah, and just to note that that is 3:05. And if you look at the student statement, that's 2:55 p.m. So I think we present the photo. You might be able to present either one, but I know for sure you can present the photo. I've had enough, Miss Willow. Eh? Take a look at this picture. Ah, those pills, those were Nixie's favourite. What matters here is not the bottle. Take a look at his wristwatch. The watch stopped at the instant of his electrocution. In other words, at 3:05 p.m. This is the precise moment he died.
Indeed, but...
Please remember what was determined earlier. When exactly did the power line break? That is clearly written in the student's testimony. 2:55 p.m. Ah! Can you explain this, Miss Willow? How did you account for this 10-minute gap? The defense claims the following. Mr. Phoenix only broke the line. Someone else is the true murderer.
Order! What in the name of...
Ridiculous! This true murderer nonsense? From the breakage to the electrocution, 10 minutes elapsed. That this blank space exists has been proven. But who? Who could have committed the crime except the defendant? Only one person. After the defendant fled the scene, only one person could have finished the victim off.
Counsel, do you intend to make any specific accusation as to who this true murderer might be?
Finally this moment has arrived, Mia. Yes, Your Honor, I intend to do so.
Well then, we are ready to listen. However, if your accusation is spurious, a penalty will be imposed. Think carefully, counsel. Who do you claim is the true murderer?
Well, I mean, this is kind of obvious, right? What?
What is this, counsel?
Huh? Young people sometimes get ahead of themselves.
As promised, the penalty is imposed.
Ouch, this won't do me.
Try again, counsel. With a bit of thought this time.
Think carefully. Well, maybe I'll think a bit more carefully this time. Miss Dolores Willow, of course it was you. Huh? No. What is this preposterous nonsense? After the power line broke, 10 minutes elapsed. During that time, what were you doing exactly? I'm not calling for help, listening to music on your headphones. Maybe you were yelling, "Go, go, fight!"
Order! Counsel! What can... Lord! What a new graces... Well...
Witness, on that day you saw their fight. Then, after the defendant hit the victim and ran away, you came forward and pushed the victim into the dangling wire. That's so awful. Why are you doing this to poor Dolores?
Counsel! This is an extremely serious...
Stop the trial.
Whoa, what are you doing here?
The defense retracts the accusation. Don't be ridiculous. You're not even a defense attorney yet, man. Mia's mistaken. Dolly would never do something so awful.
Defendant! You can't just leap out of your chair like this. Bailiff, restrain this man.
Stop picking on Dolly. Well. Oh. So, well. I forgot who spoke in that part, but... Wow, that's a great Winston Payne impression, Grossberg. Thank you, I've been working on it for a while now. His voice is kind of taxing though, so... I can't really do it for much longer. I think that kid would be better off letting the pros defend him. But Mr. Grossberg... Looks like I made it in time. I got the police report for that newspaper article you showed me. Discusses the incident in the courthouse 6 months ago. Press L for details. Thank you. I was waiting for that. Give it a quick read, because there might be something interesting in there. Summary. District Court. Place District Court Cafeteria. Time August 27, 4 p.m. Victim Drac Sylvester. Attorney. We never got to see Drac Sylvester, but because the name Diego Armando was put in this part, or whatever the original Japanese is, they had to come up with something because the character's name hadn't been translated yet. So I think that is the final fan translation name that we were given, because, as I've said, this case
was made, and then after that, the official translation got announced. Suspect Dolores Willow. The victim summoned Dolores Willow to the courthouse cafeteria to discuss a prior incident. Poison was found in the victim's coffee cup. No poison was found in the suspect or in the environs. Method of delivery unknown.
Read carefully. I know you've been wanting to find out how your boyfriend died. Well then, the defense just made a spectacular accusation. Prosecutor Payne, what are your thoughts on this?
This is, well, May I speak first, Mr. Prosecutor? Miss, this is where I am. Strike back and all. Sorry, go ahead. You're claiming it was my fault that she died?
Yes, I am. You murdered Jack Richford in cold blood, then you tried to pin the blame on your boyfriend, Phoenix Wright.
Please, don't be so aggressive. Excuse me. Go ahead.
Payne's out here getting cooked.
Faye, no, I love my darling Nixie. How can you claim that I would try to frame him? It would weigh so heavily on my poor little heart.
In plain English, what's the motive, stupid?
The answer to that question is found in the report, I suspect. The courthouse cafeteria incident of 6 months ago, and the couple formed on the very same day. Your Honor, the defense requests the testimony of Dolores Willow.
Testimony? What about?
About her first meeting with Phoenix Wright.
The courtroom is no place for nostalgia.
Well, I mean, this gameplay video right here is quite nostalgic, I'd imagine. For anyone watching this, maybe you played the fan translation back in the day. Maybe this is a bit nostalgic in that sense, or maybe just the fact that this is the Game Boy Advance version. You know, it's a bit of inherent nostalgia in that. The witness claims she had no motive for framing the defendant. The defense has the right to question that assertion.
Alright, counsel. The defense's request is granted. Dearie, would you mind testifying again?
Of course I don't mind. Now it's starting to heat up, isn't it, Miss Willow?
Shogen Kaishi meeting Phoenix Wright or
Nixie in this case. There's a kind of weird way of spelling it, but did they just like completely make that up, or is that like a nickname for Phoenix? I first met Nixie about 6 months ago. The happy spot was the reference room in the courthouse basement. The moment I saw him, I felt an intense burst of desire. I mean, you know, you just have main character energy, to be fair. After that, we've kept going out together. Oh baby, me and Dolly have it totally hot. That is more explicit than what he says in the official translation.
the defense. The courtroom.
Even I'm calling Phoenix a defense. He's not a defense attorney yet.
Defendant, the courtroom is no place for ribald
Interjections. Ribald. What does that word even mean? Me quickly. Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. It's referring to sexual matters in an amusingly coarse or irreverent way. So it's ironic coming from this guy who's been, you know, simping this whole time. Anyway, now the stage is set.
Sock it to her, Mia.
Meeting Phoenix Wright. We'll make a save state. Make another save state. I made 2 separate save states because I like having save states. We'll just start pressing. In
what else am I gonna do? I'm trying to find as much of this dialogue as I can. Until that moment, you were going out with Mr. Richford. It's gonna be the definitive fan translation playthrough right here. Yes, Dolly is really a bad girl, isn't she? Yeah, referring to herself in the third person, I think that is just a thing that you do in Japanese if you want to be cutesy. It's not really as natural sounding in English, I don't think. Such a fickle little heart.
No, don't worry about it. I too am one for constantly changing my verdicts. Some even call me the fickle-hearted judge.
And you haven't been fired because... I don't know why the phone's...
Somebody's in another room.
Okay.
It's been a bit weird, I think. It's gone off now though, so I'll keep going. And you haven't been fired because it's on my phone, so I'm not answering it.
Somehow he always makes the right decisions in the end. Some even call him the mysterious perfect judge.
I actually remember both these nicknames. It's Judge Fickle in the official translation for the first nickname. The second one, the Great Judgine. But the mysterious perfect judge, you know, that sounds a little bit more of trying to pick him up. The courthouse reference room. Sounds like an odd place to me.
It wasn't strange at all. You see, Nixie is an art student right now, but he wants to be a defense attorney.
I don't mean for the defendant, I mean for you. What was a literature student doing in the courthouse reference room?
That question is completely irrelevant, Your Honor.
We shouldn't waste time on irrelevant questions now, should we?
Everybody's siding with the witness. I can't afford any mistakes.
Back off for now. Just impressions are the most important thing of all.
Well, keep quiet for now.
Well then, miss, continue your testimony, please. What happened when you met the defendant, Phoenix Wright?
Just love this music in this part. The Game Boy Advance Allegro theme. Like, especially this part here. Just want to listen to it for a moment. Okay, we'll waste too much time. What caused this burst of desire you felt for Mr. Phoenix? All I see is some guy with a cold. Oh, but 6 months ago, Nixie was fit as a fiddle. Well then, that leaves just some guy. Damn. I think that's even more brutal than the official translation. She calls him a dime a dozen, but...
Objection! Who among us can fathom the heart of a fair maiden? In fact, people often ask me what I see in my wife.
Absolutely, I have the same problem.
Blooming briefly, where no one sees, a dandelion in the shade. This is what I thought when I first saw Nixie.
That's a bit of a nicer poem than in the official translation, because I remember she says something like it comes from cowdung, like a plant, you know, fertilizer. Then at least in this case, it's like he's a flower that, you know, he doesn't get all praised a lot, but he's, you know, secret kind of off in the corner. I don't know. So Dolores is a bit nice than Dahlia, actually. It's like if you had to date Dolores Willow or Dahlia Hawthorne, which one are you going for? You know, you don't want to go for the one that calls you cowdung, even if both of them are going to frame you for murder. You know, at least she can be a bit nicer about it. Did you have any quarrel with the victim, Mr. Richford?
Oh dear me, no. We just went our separate ways. That's not possible. Our investigation found the pair parted amicably, Your Honor. Really? Sounds like somebody has quite the tempestuous love life. Did they really break up that easily? We'll come back to that. How did Jack Richard really feel about this Dolly? Well, for now, I'll leave it alone.
Careful, man. That girl has a judge's sympathy. The only line of attack is to find a clear contradiction.
I'll press again, but we'll press failure this time. So, the victim also wanted to stop seeing you, is that correct? Goodness, why I don't know about that. How rude! A lady shouldn't be asked such a question. Also, I myself have never considered breaking up with my wife.
No one asked you!
That's a bit ruder than the official translation. I don't recall what the exact line is though. I think the judge is a bit more, a bit more subtle about his insult. She didn't say no, which means Jack Richard must have seen through this girl. He saw the real Dolores Willow. Mata! I don't want to skip through the text because it makes the musical clunk out. Wanting to listen to it without any of these interruptions. We will press further. Your Honor, I know I can show a contradiction. Please, bear with me.
Very well. Do you answer the question, please? Why were you in the basement reference room?
Why, I'd be happy to, Grandpa. I was there to collect documents for an essay. Research for a paper, you said? Yes, it was about the connection between Senryu poetry and crime.
Oh, it's an interesting subject for a paper.
As I forget even that I have forgotten, like that.
Stop pretending to have things in common with the judge. Think, Mia, why did you really come to the courthouse? You haven't forgotten, have you? Make sure you read that report I brought you.
You have to spell it out for us, Grossberg. We already know. Remember, I'm going for an 100% run. Can't believe any dialogue. Miss Willow, did you really come to the courthouse to do research? Or did you have a more pressing reason? What could you mean by that? Why are you smiling? 6 months ago, in this courthouse, there was an incident. An incident?
Poison was found in a victim's coffee cup. Why? How interesting.
In this report, you will find the name of the suspect in that case. Dolores Willow. What?
Dolores Willow!
That's right, the same Dolly who's simpering in front of you today. She was the prime suspect in the incident. Although, I mean, she may be simpering, but, you know, you and Payne are both simping, Your Honor, so it's not really that much better.
Order! 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 I don't believe it! It's just sweet innocent flower like her.
Counsel! That was disgraceful! How dare you slander the witness with these unrelated accusations? For this grievous transgression, I, Winston Payne, will have my revenge! Mr. Prosecutor, could I say something, please? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. It's true that 6 months ago, the police, they turned the suspicious eyes on me.
Suspicious eyes, you say?
I want to testify about this. I had nothing to do with the incident 6 months ago, but...
I see!
There, now the connection has been established. What is left is to close the trap, Mia.
Very good, Mia. My buttocks and my heart have caught fire. My whole body is burning with anticipation. Shoren Kaishi.
That incident 6 months ago. I was meeting with Mr. Lawyer in the cafeteria. I left my seat for just a moment. That was when it happened. They said they found just 2 teaspoons of poison, but it was lethal. What's more, they said it was a very rare poison. Dahl I was innocent. How could she have gotten something that awful? Yeah, it doesn't sound quite so natural in English, but I'd imagine it would in Japanese for trying to play innocent.
And all this happened here.
As you have heard, she was not involved. This should put an end to the defense's silly accusations. Sorry, Mr. Payne, but the defense's silly accusations have only just begun. Let the cross-examination begin. Gah! Oh my! Someone would feel a strange power from the defense.
Oh, Mia has taken on the aura of a true defense attorney. She's grown just a little taller in this courtroom. Oh, and I've grown just a little wider too. Because I had some donuts before I came here.
There's no need for the cheap obesity jokes, okay, Grossberg?
I can make them, I'm obese.
Okay, save state and start pressing. And what did you discuss with the victim? Well, I'd rather not tell you.
According to the report, it was about a prior incident.
When I was very small, I was involved in something. That's what Mr. Dead Lawyer told me. What sort of incident was that? That question has even less to do with this trial.
Objection sustained. Don't distract the counsel.
My goodness, Miss Willow. You sure get caught up in incidents. Dolly was born under an unlucky star. Don't worry, Dolly. I'll protect you.
So it would seem. What a nice fellow.
Oh, Nixie. How sweet. Oh my god. About how long were you away from the table? Why, I already told the police. About 10 or 20 minutes, I think. And where'd you go? The toilet, perhaps? What are you saying, Mia? Dolly doesn't go to the toilet.
So it would seem. She clearly doesn't counsel.
Oh, Nixie. How sweet. Anyway, she already told that to the police. That question is not just unrelated, it is meaningless.
Objection sustained. Please continue the testimony.
About how much is 2 teaspoons?
Let me see. I believe it's a bit less than 3 teaspoons.
About 2/3 as much, I'd imagine. They found the poison in Mr. Lawyer's coffee. It must have happened while I was away. Some bad man must have secretly put it there. Come on. It's a bit misandrous to assume it had to have been a man, Dolly. I mean, Dolores. Sorry, I don't know where I pulled that in a name from. What's so special about this poison? He said it was almost impossible to detect.
Oh, why is that?
I don't know very much, just what Mr. Policeman said. It requires a high pressure azeotropic distillation, I guess. Azeotropic? What does that even mean? I'm going to look it up. A mixture of 2 or more liquids that boils at a constant temperature and has the same composition in both its liquid and vapor phases. This means that simple distillation cannot separate the components of an azeotrope because the vapor forms as the same proportions as the original liquid. Now, if you have any idea of what that means, congratulations, you're smarter than me.
High pressure azeotrope. Clearly a very advanced procedure.
Oh god, I'm not on the judges level, am I? I swear I got an 8 in GCSE combined science. Where could someone have gotten that? I'm no chemist. Walter White would not be proud. Was that why you weren't arrested? Because you couldn't have gotten the poison? Isn't that enough? Absolutely! Why are we even wasting time on this line of questioning?
I see, this girl was never arrested because she had no way of getting the poison.
Well, I just need to find out where she got it. Where could a girl like this get a poison like that? Where could she have gotten a very rare poison? Not from anywhere there. From this guy, Jack Richard. But I'm gonna let this music play out just till the end. And end at that was quite good timing, because that's the last time we're hearing this amazing piece. You couldn't have gotten that poison. Do you expect us to believe that? What? I imagine you could have done it any time you liked. You knew someone with a lab that would be perfect for it.
You mean the victim, Jack Richford?
6 months ago, this girl was going out with Jack Richford, who was at famous university studying medical chemistry. Medical chemistry? I understand they had quite the laboratory. In fact, I think I could even say this special poison must have been made there. Well, Miss Willow, looks like you did have a way of getting poison. All that's left is who put it in the victim's coffee. Only one person could have done that, the one sitting at the table with it. No! It's hard to do my loud Dolores voice. Especially with this short amount of time to do it. It's just hard to do a high-pitched, loud voice without sounding like Winston Payne.
Order! I don't believe...
All this is utterly baseless, young. Might I say one thing, Auntie? And what would that be, Miss Willow? Over 2 teaspoons of poison in Mr. Lawyer's coffee. To carry that much liquid, I think you need a container.
Indeed you would.
I was searched the moment the police arrived. Indeed, the whole courthouse was searched, top to bottom. I don't think they found a container anywhere. She's right. The report said that too. She must have gotten rid of it somewhere. But how, Auntie? You were going to say she got rid of a medicine container. Show us some proof. Proof? What a counterattack. Asking for evidence, I never would have seen that coming.
If you don't have evidence, we should end this line of questioning.
This is it. I hope you have something good. Whatever she kept that poison in vanished moments after the crime. She was searched and the courthouse was searched.
You say this girl was the culprit. But where did the container go? This here, counsel.
It went into Cold Killer's head.
Counsel, you really being serious? That is not related at all.
Yay! You totally tell her, Grandpa. I don't know why I did totally in there. But I guess it makes it sound a bit more valid.
Right, leave it to Grandpa.
Gah, I can't let her win.
You're almost there, man. Think carefully.
Right, we know where it went. It's kind of obvious. You had to get rid of that container fast. So, you left it with someone completely unrelated to the case. With someone who wouldn't have been searched.
Why? Why, who would that be?
Phoenix Wright, of course. Are you saying the defendant conspired with the witness? Of course not. The poison was given as a gift. That's...
What a lovely pendant. There's a little bottle on it too. How charming. And what does this have to do with the case, Counsel?
When did the witness meet the defendant, Phoenix Wright? 6 months ago, the 27th of August, the same day as the incident. On that day, she gave him a little present. That present was the evidence of her guilt.
What? There's some poison in there.
That bottle looks empty to us today. But I expect there's still enough for the lab to find. Hi!
Order! Order in the court! Well...
Oh, an Igyari from the man himself. I object! What is the meaning of this? Stop being mean to Dolly.
Come now, defendant. I told you not to interrupt.
Mr. Phoenix, why are you so determined to protect this witness? Why? But I'm in love with her.
Love. That takes me back.
Mr. Phoenix, haven't you ever wondered, why did Dolores Willow go out with you? Because she loves me, of course. Mr. Phoenix, come on, open your eyes. By now the reason should be clear. Dolores Willow went with you because she loved you, she wanted to pen it back, she wanted to keep you quiet. For the sake, of course, because she loved you too. Of course, I knew it.
Mia, what are you saying? Did you come this far for nothing?
Sorry, I just kind of felt like saying it. Love, what a beautiful word.
Counsel, we all have to grow up someday.
Yes, Your Honor, I'll be more careful. Dolores Willow went out with you because...
Keep you quiet.
Of course, she wanted to keep you quiet. Quiet? About what?
He's completely trusting. I don't think he knows of any knows any of Dolores Willow's secrets.
Of course I don't, Mia. Why are you so happy about it?
Counsel, perhaps you should rethink this.
Yes, Your Honor. Dolores Willow went out with you because... Dolores Willow didn't care about your heart. All she wanted was the pendant you kept next to it. The pendant? Earlier in the waiting room, you told me. Dolly always had a shy side to her. After that, every time we met, she said, "Could you return that necklace to me, after all?"
How strange, to want back something that was freely given.
To her, this pendant was dangerous evidence, so she wanted it back, no matter the cost. No way. But you wouldn't give it back. In fact, you happily showed it to everyone you knew. And so, she... That's not true! Ah!
Mia, she's hurt. Bailiff, after, hurry! Are you alright? Mia?
Yes, I think so.
That kid. What an awful thing to do.
Where's Mr. Phoenix?
I was at the bailiff caught him. He'll be back soon.
Good. Oh no!
What is it now?
The evidence. The pendant. It's not here.
What? What?
Just then when he hit me, he must have taken it.
Ridiculous. What a ridiculous thing to do. That was our only proof. What was that boy thinking? Defendants, this is unheard of.
I'm sorry.
You're sorry is all you have to say. All of us here are out of a job.
Mr. Phoenix, the pendant. What did you do with the pendant? I'm sorry, Mia. Enough. Just give it back. I ate it.
What? You ate it!
It was made of glass and fragile, so I could chew it. How? How?
How could you do that?
Your Honor, end this trial immediately! Mr. Phoenix, aren't you in pain? That pen you ate was holding a deadly poison. Well then, this young man's body is all the proof I need. Clearly there was no poison in that bottle. What are you saying? Just look at him. This young man is perfectly fine. Poison? Looks like it was just a fragment of the rookie's imagination. That's not true. It doesn't mean there wasn't poison in the bottle. Perhaps the poison loses its toxicity quickly. We understand, rookie. Defense attorneys should believe in their clients to the very end. And you've believed in Mr. Right all this time. However, we prosecutors have the same duty. I would stake my life on the truth of what the witness said here today. Your theories are not believable.
I've heard enough. I'm very sorry, counsel, but the court does not recognize your claims.
Why not?
A youngster like you might not understand, but in the courtroom, evidence is everything.
After all this, is she gonna get away?
Then, as the matter of Miss Willow's past has been cleared up, let's continue the trial.
Mr. Phoenix. I'm sorry, Mia. I forgot. And you really believed in me, Mia, to the bitter end. Mr. Phoenix. The truth is, there was something I didn't say.
What do you mean?
That day, when I met Jack Richford. If you know what's good for you, you'd better stop seeing that girl. That's none of your damn business. I'm just giving you some advice, old boy. No, damn it, no! Look, let me tell you something. Last night, a poison was stolen from our lab. Poison? 6 months ago, some chemicals went missing. She was in our lab then too. I can't think of anyone who would have taken them besides her. Stop it! Stop it! Stop bloody bad-mouthing her! Did Mr. Richford really say that? Impossible! What's more, that day after I struck him, when I started worrying and I went back, I saw Dahl I at the scene of the crime. She was crouched next to him. What? She asked me not to mention it in my testimony. I'm sorry. Your Honor, what the defendant's saying is... Mia, tell them It wasn't Dolly, it was someone else. Just as I thought, Dolores Willow stole that poison 6 months ago. And with Mr. Phoenix's testimony on top of that, there's only one answer. If his testimony is correct, the witness, Dolores Willow, stole poison the night before Jack Richard was killed.
The night before the crime.
She took it because she was planning a murder. Mia.
Well then, counsel, I have just one question.
This is my last chance. I need to think carefully. There was something she wanted more than anything.
Who was Dolores Willow plotting to kill?
What is the defense doing?
What? Why would she be trying to kill me? You seem so confident pointing your finger like that. You still haven't figured out what really happened?
I suppose it's because I've been out of the courtroom for so long.
It's not an excuse. Think harder next time.
Sorry, Your Honor. He's losing patience.
Well then, counsel.
Go back. And there is actually a second failure dialogue that's unique if you present Chuck Richard.
Hold on, man. Why would you kill Richford?
Because Richard had realised what kind of person she is. I thought,
No. Dolores Willow couldn't possibly have known that. Who was really in her way? Think hard, Mia. Counsel. I think it's about time we brought this to an end.
yes, Your Honor, he's losing patience.
Well then, counsel, I have just one question. Who was Dolores Willow plotting to kill?
Was this little dweeb right here. There was one person Dolores Willow absolutely had to get rid of. It was you! Phoenix Wright. Me? This is madness, Your Honor.
No, Mr. Payne. This is Sparta!
First of all, I'm going to ignore what you just said there, because I haven't even seen that movie. But next, the dead man was Jack Richford. You're right, that was how it turned out. But Mr. Richford died of an electric shock, not poison. The person Miss Willow intended to poison. I'm positive, Mr. Phoenix, she intended to kill you.
But Mr. Wright is Dolores' lover.
This must be hard for you, Mr. Phoenix. But bear it just a little longer. I'll get it. I swear it. I said it before, but the one thing truly important to Dolores Willow was the proof of her crime. Your pendant.
Still, why? Why kill for it?
6 months ago, when that lawyer collapsed. There was only one thing on Miss Willow's mind. Disposing of the poison pendant as quickly as possible. That's not true. She was very clever. She found a babysitter for the evidence. But there was an unexpected difficulty. Once the heat was off, he wouldn't give it back. Instead, he treasured it and showed it to everyone he met.
Unbelievable. Just for that, she would
Kill Mr. Phoenix and take it. Just for that. That's a lie! Move, please. You're in my way, Nixie. Ugh. I swear, you are the most useless man. I thought I told you to keep your big mouth shut. You worm.
Witness?
I think this trial is drawing to an end. No matter what I do, people want to make me out as a murderer. Because you are one, Miss Willow. I don't know about that. Where's your proof? That pen is now shredding that crybaby's insides. Ugh, that is... Hey, Gramps, don't just sit there like an idiot. Don't you have something to say?
Witness! What's gotten over you?
Quiet. What are you so shocked for? Oh, did you like Dolly better this way, dear Grandpa?
Oh my!
You made your innocent witness into a killer without a shred of evidence. That's all I have to say. I'm going home.
But...
So long. I'll let you deal with the old lady in the suit. I can't let her get away.
Stop, Mia! If you go any further, without evidence, you'll be given the worst penalty of all.
The worst penalty?
Disbarment. You'll never practice law again.
You wouldn't. Think carefully, auntie.
Well, counsel, can you show the court evidence that proves this girl's crime?
If I screw up here, my life as a lawyer is over. To be honest, I don't even have decisive evidence right now. If given my job means letting her go, I'll throw away my badge myself! Your Honor, the defense still has evidence to present. That's impossible! You can't possibly! Ugh. You foolish woman. Hey, you're not the right character to be using that word.
I think this discussion has gone on for far too long. Therefore, I will allow the defendants to present only one piece of evidence.
Just one?
You cannot prove the guilt of this witness. I'll pronounce judgment from the defendant, Phoenix Wright.
I understand. I can see you so clearly, auntie. Never to make a flower bloom, only to scatter them in the wind. She tried to poison Phoenix Wright. That means there's only one place the poison could have been.
Well then, counsel, present your evidence. Prove beyond doubt that Dolores Willow tried to poison the defendant.
There's only one place that she could have put poison, right? It's kind of obvious. It was in the badge.
Counsel, this is your answer. I thought you were better than this.
I'm so sorry, Your Honor. My hand slipped.
I don't want any excuses. I'm not giving you a third chance.
Well, you kind of are. My penalty bar is full enough, and it wasn't an unlimited penalty.
Present your evidence.
Alright, I'm gonna actually do it this time. Oh. Every time I press the wrong button, it's the O key flips between them, but it's also used to present some points. I'm supposed to press L to confirm and present. But anyway, this is it, my final and decisive piece of evidence.
Cold Killer Z. Mr. Wright's cold medicine.
Perhaps the rookie layers caught a client's cold. If I had a cold, this is the last medicine I'd take. After all, it's poison.
What?
Record the defendant's testimony. On the day of his death, it disappeared around lunchtime. I always eat lunch with my darling Dolly. It was Miss Willow who stole the defendant's Cold Killer Z. So she could poison it, knowing Phoenix Wright would take it. That's completely absurd! That bottle was found in the victim, Jack Richford's hand. Everyone, think back to the murder of 6 months ago. Where did Dolores Willow hide the evidence?
What are you implying?
6 months ago, the poison was independent, which she gave to a stranger. The man she met by chance in the reference room, Phoenix Wright. And she did the same thing this time. When the victim hit the utility pole, Mr. Phoenix fled the scene. The only person left was Dolores Willow. She was carrying the poison Cold Killer Z. Of course it was meant for Mr. Phoenix.
She said in the testimony that she was going to meet the defendant.
At the scene, she heard everything and saw everything. She heard their conversation and she saw the power line break. Jack Richford keeps talking about me, I'll be in trouble. So she took the power line and closed Richie's mouth for good. But there was another problem. Phoenix Wright, who should have left, came back to the scene. Worst, power outage drew at the students. And she started to worry. After all, she was carrying poison cold medicine. What if I'm searched again? She thought. She had the same problem of 6 months ago. 6 months ago! And she found the same solution. She gave it to someone else. To the victim, Jack Richford. What's wrong? Why is everyone staring at me like that? You don't believe this crazy woman, right, Grandpa? Of course not! She's just desperate. I don't think I'm the one who's desperate. Well, Miss Willow, would you like to try some cold killer Z? Mr. Phoenix ate your pendant. Are you that brave? Are you that brave? If you're lucky, the paramedics might arrive in time. Or, if you really are innocent, show us the proof right now. Take your medicine. Oh, that line actually goes hard. Take your medicine. Mia Fey? Mia Fey? Do you think you've beaten me? Fine, old woman. For today, we'll stop here. You know, Tom, I keep trying to do a menacing sounding, high-pitched sounding voice, and I just keep coming back pain. For today, I have no intention of ending it like this. Well, I mean, Dolores Willow, I'm sorry to say, you haven't appeared in any other case because the rest of them didn't get translated, so we are actually going to end it today. Someday, somewhere, we'll meet again. Don't know when, oh, I know we'll meet again some sunny day. I know it. Calm down, Gil. You ain't Bill Cipher, okay? You ain't him. You too, Grandpa. I hope we can play again.
Yes! I can hardly wait.
Well then, everyone. I have to go with Mr. Policeman now. Have a wonderful day. Is it? It's finally over. I don't believe it. The defense's accusations are completely baseless.
But the witness is has as good as admitted guilt.
That doesn't matter. I don't admit it. Winston Payne won't lose to this rookie lawyer. Well then, Prosecutor Payne, I'll ask you. What? Would you like to try some cold killer Z? What? Earlier today, you said, we understand, rookie. I would stake my life on the truth of what the witness said here today. If you really believe in Miss Willow, then you know there's no poison in this bottle, right? Well, maybe there is, and maybe there isn't, and... So saying it and dying for it are different things, prosecutor? Come on, don't you want to prove the rookie wrong? Or didn't you truly believe in your witness? Does this staking your life truly mean that little to you? No! My hair's falling out!
Prosecutor Payne, your witness.
Yes, sir. She has been taken into custody.
I see. My goodness. Well, I found her suspicious from the very beginning.
Yeah, right. This is Tenmon Memories. It's actually Winston Payne's last memories of having hair. Although he does get some pretty long locks by the time of Apologist is just not on the top of his head.
Oh, by the way, Counsel,
Yes? What is it, Your Honor?
you seem to know Miss Willow from somewhere.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, that case isn't going to get translated by the Queen's Justifying Translation anyway. That is not related to this case, Your Honor.
Very well, I understand. And, Prosecutor Payne?
This is a nightmare! A bad dream! She looked just like my daughter!
I think he lost his fighting spirit along with his hair. And as for the defendant...
Oh, no, Dolly. oh.
Very well. It appears this trial has come to an end. Therefore, I hereby pronounce the defendant, Phoenix Wright.
Moo. Zai. Well, brackets innocent, because we couldn't be bothered making a not guilty thing in here. Well, I'm not going to say couldn't be bothered. I'm just kidding, man.
Court is adjourned.
We like having kanji in this game. It's 3:16 PM, District Court, Defendant Lobby 3.
Mia, this was magnificent!
Thank you, Mr. Grossberg.
When the decision came down, my buttocks felt completely free.
Could you please stop mentioning your rear end, sir?
Yes, sorry.
They do say the word hemorrhoids in this, but they actually just put more emphasis on, like, just Grossberg's buttocks in general without necessarily repeating the word hemorrhoids in this fan translation. So actually it's a bit less wacky than the official translation in that regard.
In any case, you made me think of something today. What it means to believe in your client? Maybe we veterans have forgotten that.
Congratulations, Mr. Phoenix. You know, I've been thinking. What is it? Today, that was the real Dolly, wasn't it? Ahem. The Dolly I knew would never have said those things. I think she was just a mask. Oh no, this kid's still not over it. They phrased it a bit differently in this fan translation. In the official translation, it's implied that Phoenix sort of knows deep down that Dolly are on the stand and the girl he dated who turned out to be Iris were two different people. In this, they've not exactly gone for the proper foreshadowing. Yeah, they've made it a bit more subtle. Oh no, this kid's still not over it. I think you should forget her. It's for the best. Yeah, you're right. I have to forget about her. And then calm down a little and grow up a little. What? But all my friends say I'm the most grown up person they know. What kind of friends does this kid have? You know, I'm studying to be a defense attorney. So I've heard. But aren't you an art student right now? Well, yes, it's true. There's a friend I want to help. If I hurry, it might not be too late. Really? Say, Mia, as a defense attorney, you help people in trouble, right? Mr. Phoenix, I'm still new at this, you know. But that's what I believe. I'll study hard. So, I'll see you again in the courtroom, Mia. It's been 5 years since I was declared innocent. I'm a defense attorney now, and I've managed to help a few people. Mia isn't part of this world anymore. This case is a painful memory for me. But it's also a very important one. And I thought for a long time that it was over. Mia's gone now, but I can still talk to her sometimes. Phoenix, no matter what happens, believe in your client. The last and most important thing you'll need in the court is that strength. It's been 5 years since that case, and I've been thinking again about what she said, but that's another story. Case 1, Comeback Memories. The end. Nusumareta Murray's glitched screen because this is an incomplete translation, so if we were pushing on, I think they said there was like some glitches and stuff. It's weird the way this has done it. I assume Nusumareta Gyakuten, so the stolen turnabout. That would come up as, and I think it would be quite glitchy, is what it said. But actually we're going to take a look at some facts about the fan translation right now. So let's take a look at this. We have game description. It's a visual novel game for the Game Boy Advance, blah blah. See, preview pouch translates the first 2 hours of the game, but it's enough to give you a feel for how the game progresses. It's worth noting that even at this stage, the hacking audio is remarkably clean and comprehensive. This is the case 1 release with the official versus the third Phoenix by game in DS and English as the translation got cancelled. This was called the Combat Courtroom 3 Fan Translation Project. Unfinished. It's not going to ever get finished, so that's technically true. And if you want to play this, I have the link in the description to this video. I'll have it in this one as well. You can just click this download link here, and I used one called VisualBoyAdvance emulator to play it. So 23rd January 2004 was the official release of Gyakuten Saiban 3. The date of this fan translation, 8th of January 2006, according to this. I wasn't even a year old then. 2,197 downloads. I don't know if that includes mine or what. So look at the screenshots here. We saw that. This was earlier in development. They had the, as you can see, the actual names, Japanese names translated into English directly. And the pun nonda, I assume, because like drunk, like he has to do with poison, they translate that as swallow. Yeah, that's all for this page, and now we'll go to the other page. So we have this is the news page, so official translation for DS announced, project cancelled, Barocco, April 13th, 2007. Good news, I would never expected it when I started this project 3 years ago, but Phoenix Wright has been successful enough outside of Japan for Capcom to officially translate GS3. So, as I promised, I'm shutting down the project so as not to compete with them. Please note that I haven't asked by Capcom to shut down or indeed contacted by them in any way. This is my own decision, and indeed it's what I always said I would do if this happened, so no conspiracy theories please. This is for the best, since after finishing case 1 I got a full-time job. It's nice. The work's been going at a sluggish pace, at this rate it's going to take forever to release anything further. I'm pleased the series got popular enough for the third game to be released, and I think my translation has some small part in that. And a part of this fan translation, as I said, the Dahl I nickname got referenced. And withdrawing the case 1 translation packs from download, well, thankfully it was still available on runhacking.net, so I was able to play, just so we could have a look at this piece of history. The hacking tools will still be available in case someone wants to use and translate the game to a non-English language. The translated script will be removed from the package. I encourage you to go out and buy the DS version until it comes out. I've bought the trilogy so many times that I've counteracted this. Most recently on iOS, but also on the Switch, and I bought the original iOS version as well, I guess technically. I thank all the Phoenix Wright fans for the feedback and support. I do appreciate it, even though I didn't always have time to reply to every email. Right, so that's the news page, right? We're going to. So these were going to be the names for the next cases. The Stolen Comeback Recipe, that would translate as Recipe for Turnabout. The First Comeback, which, you know, it's actually the name of the official translated version of the first case, the first turnabout in the first Ace Attorney game. Interestingly, it seems he focused on that one first because this is also a trial only case, so I imagine simpler and smaller as well. Never really did much in the other ones because there's 0% here. This was Turnabout Beginnings in the official one, and a magnificent comeback, which actually kind of makes me think of the Grand Turnabout, which is actually a fine translated name for the fifth case of Ace Attorney Investigations 2, but this was Bridge to the Turnabout in the official translation. Evidence box is 20%, graphics 50%. All this, that's some technical stuff. Look at more screenshots. So this is the latest progress. We saw these two on Hack.net. Desktop and mental graphics hacking. This is December 23rd, 2005. So yeah, this is how computers used to look. And the Japanese appear, obviously redoing the graphics there. And a bit before that, it's still got the Dolores name given at that point. I think we saw those on the page too. So in this box, the menu's now been translated. Professional looking, isn't it? So we have, yeah, so this one. Question and confront to the press and present. I guess they sort of changed that to match the official, because Ace Attorney 1 came out in 2005, I think. So we still had the translate. It's interesting to see this was going on. We started this translation before the first one came out. Obviously, it would have been announced by this point. Got people instead of profiles as well. November 11th, 2004. Few shots from the middle of case 1. You can see the name hasn't been put into English characters yet, so it's Hoshikage, which means like star shadow, interestingly. And then we have Chihiro as Mia's name, and obviously have Nanhodo here. So we have Comeback. It ain't easy being cross-examined. And going back a bit to October 2004 now, first complete sentence successfully translated from the beginning of case 1. Damn it, how did I end up in this mess? I'm not a murderer. And then finally, first successful tests of variable width font routine. Notice the A's aren't square unlike Japanese characters. I had to insert 400 lines of assembly code to make this change. Yes, that's interesting. Trying to get the graphics to even work with a challenge. Fun with inserting Xperia's control codes. So script is control code 0 times 5 7, which is a psycho lock animation up here. It's never supposed to happen with the judge. Psycho locks, interesting. So yeah, that's a neat little bit of history. So we're gonna have a look now at Translator's Guide. So I found this part really interesting. I've already read this myself. That's why I wanted to shorten this video. So we have introduction, welcome. Thanks for taking an interest in translating Gyakuten Saiban. There is a whopping 1.7 meg of uncompressed text in the script of Gyakuten Saiban 3, so any and all help is appreciated. So Brocco.romhacking coordinated the project. As you can see from the preview release, the bulk of the ROM hacking has been done already. What's really needed now is translators, preferably someone with a lot of free time, and I'll take anything really. You know, there's free labor you're asking for here, so understandable.
You might have to, you know, I wouldn't be. I'm still learning Japanese. I wouldn't be super good at translating anything like this, but if there was like this fan translation project for something, I think I would definitely want to jump on board. Despite all the progress that's been done so far, this game will never be translated unless some dedicated translators join the team, so don't let months of ROM hacking work go to waste. Send an email to join now. Actually though, even because this is like 2 decades ago now, which is crazy to think about, you know, being able to learn a language so easily using the internet, it just wasn't a thing back then, was it? You know, so, and being able to translate so easily as well, you wouldn't have had the Google Translate tool or anything like that. So it was really impressive they managed to do this, managed to get enough dedicated fans before the English release even came out. So yeah, taking seriously organized for this project, there used to be a translator and an earlier fan translation project that fell apart before release due to bad coordination. There's some lessons about how to avoid this happening again. Here the ROM is already thoroughly hacked before translation even begins. The tools are open source, we can let partial releases and make it into an actual release. Hoping that many translators will be interested in joining the team. Brief document explaining, so we'll just do separate emails. ROM hacking tools are out for Gyakuten and Saiban are open source and fairly user friendly, so you won't need to send your translated block so you how to insert it. You'll be able to hack the ROM yourself and immediately look at your change in the game as soon as you've got a few lines of script translated. This will reduce post-translation editing work as well as make the job more rewarding for translators. So this is just technical stuff, so we'll skim past this. Project coordination. My Japanese is quite good. Translating that enormous amount of text is just overwhelming for one person. Tell me about it. And it'll be a lot of work for me just coordinating and inserting the translations done by others. Even because I make Anki cards and I'm currently making them for the first Ace Attorney game. I'm up to Tono-sama and Gyakuten or Tenbot Samurai right now. And just translating even the few sentences I want to translate, it's quite difficult to make something natural sounding. Like, especially if you want to translate as directly as possible, which I do, so I can memorize as many words as possible, but also to get the general meaning, so it's like a balance. Well, of course, with something like this, it's more about just making something that sounds good in English. So you'd have to fudge a little in that regard, but you'd also have to be careful you're not doing it too much, because you don't want to have like a meaning that's different from what was intended. If it has an impact on how the story feels. If you can help with the ROM hacking, drop me a line too, although it's much less needed. So extending the word to Gyakuten Saiban 1 and 2, so they were looking to do that as well. Obviously before those 2 games got announced. More technical info. By far the largest point is the script. The script contains all the text that appears in the box at the bottom of the screen. So these replace all the Japanese text in the script with English text. Adjustments to the control places with a different length and flow of the English text. This is all quite interesting stuff, isn't it? But the evidence boxes, which the text I've now seen used to be converted in a separate way, and the graphics need to be changed. That stuff is always stored as background graphics. The detailed police reports, the burnt parchment in case 5, etc. Yeah, so that's like for reading the files and the Morgan phase letter. The Shogun Kaishi, which is test when it begins. Muzai, guilty, not guilty even. Yuzai, not guilty. Ikiari, objection. Mata, hold it. Animations are also in foreground graphics, but I think since they look cool as it is and their meaning is clear from context, we should probably just leave them in Japanese. You know, I respect the decision, obviously, because you know, they do look kind of flashy. Kanji is cool. Or so many technical issues. What's the past that? Got some file names here. CC file format. summary. 4 basic types of objects. We've got the Japanese characters, the English characters, control currents, pointers. Just gonna pass that. Translation aid features auto-spacing boxes and the translated and translated. Yeah, because I think no, you might have said this at some point, I might say it in a bit, but I think I read somewhere in here that they left the original text in the game next to the translated version, but they had a code thing in to skip over anything Japanese, so that way they could go in and take a look and, you know, double check the translation to see if everything's alright. Control codes, we can skip past that. Boxes, auto line breaking. Each English character area 13 points. That's some more technical stuff. Yeah, here's what they say. One way of going about it would be to delete the original Japanese text and write the English text instead, but it strikes me it would be better to leave the Japanese in alongside the English, that way it would be much easier to make revisions to the translation later without needing to constantly cross-reference in the original script. We could simply comment out the Japanese instead of deleting it completely. That's why I came up with the translated directive. This directive tells the script to completely ignore any line coming after the one that contains more than one Japanese. Maybe the end of the end translated directive appears, after which Japanese text is inserted normally again. So that's actually a very clever way of doing it. The same sound behavior is a good thing, so also like kill this control code so you don't want the actual translation anyway. So this is translation examples here, and they show how they take it from Japanese put into English. The opening act is completely isn't used much in English. They've taken the creative liberties there. When you went out, no, I just wanted to single words, we don't want the brackets to automatically insert spaces or something go Whenever you do something like this, make sure to test your translation in games, make sure it renders the way you think. That's fair enough. Translation, general guidance. This is the most interesting part. Now I don't feel strong about any of the following guidelines, just we want to pick some policies and stick to them to be consistent across the entire translation. Feel free to add to the section if you feel the need to make new policies. As general, we don't want to be too literal with the translation. Yes, this is the problem I was talking about. Japanese translated word for word to English always sounds bad, just look at zeroing. It's more important to capture the spirit and the letter of the original text. That said, of course, in important text like evidence sources, we do need to get all the info across accurately. So yeah, you have to find that balance, don't you? You're gonna get the meaning across, but you also, if you just do it completely literally, it will sound very odd. I know there are a few moments where I criticise that in even this final translation, which shows you how difficult it is. And then we have Japanese names running in Western order, last name last. Honorifics like Stan, Chan and Kun are omitted. These were particularly important to the appreciation of the game. Cena loves them, I'll keep them, but in this case, all it will achieve is make our lawyers and judges sound like otaku fanboys. Using Mr. and Miss is more appropriate in this context, absolutely agree. In Romanized Japanese words like names, use hepburn plus. Old style vowel dubbing, so Naruhodo's full names from just Yuichi Naruhodo. So, because sometimes if you want to do like a long vowel sound like that, you would have, like for this one for example, you'd have a U with like a line above it to indicate that it's a stretched U, and same with the O here, because the U actually works as an O extender, so you put the line over the O, or you spell out like how it's spelled here, so we've gone for this one. Obviously this was before they decided to just use English names coming up with their own at some points. Right, so we have the names and phrases table. Here's a list of common names and phrases in the game. All translation should be translated and used the same way to be consistent with this table. So we have, which I ought to read the surname, this is like Beauty something, and then Chinami. We translated that as Dolores Willow, my invention, so Brocco's invention. Jack Richford, we had, his first name was, his name was Kizuzo Nonda, right? And Jack Richford, my invention. And then Naruhodo is Phoenix. Naruhodo Ryuichi is Phoenix Wright. Saiban Cho is Judge / Your Honor.
I asked her to Chino me effect. So this was after, obviously they changed this after they got the official names. I asked her Chihiro Miyafe, I asked her Mayafe. I like how they, when they went for the translated name, Maya and Mayoi sound quite similar, so that was obviously a kind of little nod. I asked her to something, is that referring to, oh yeah, Harume, so that would be, I think that's Pearlface's name, of the second game, obviously not having come out at this point. And I think that says Karuma, so that must be, I assume Francisco von Karma is the character from the second game. They haven't got around to kind of put a name for that. Didn't know how to read this first character off the top of my head. I haven't seen that before, so it must be, I don't think anyway, so that must be like a something used for a specific name. Marvin Grossberg's Japanese name I always found interesting because Hoshikage, as I said before, Star, Shadow, and then these two are normally read as Uchu, which means universe. This is just the katakana for no, and then Scare, which you might see in names like Keisuke, which is Dick Gumshoe's first name in Japanese. So that's a common kanji used for names. But as one name, this is supposed to be read as Sora no Suke. So Sora means like sky. So Marvin Grossberg with his fancy ass first name. And then we have Aochi Kenji. I know this has just been me showing off my Japanese knowledge, so I'm sorry if it's not interested. But Pain's Japanese name is quite interesting because it's Aochi, which is supposed to sound like, ouch. And then they translated that as pain. Kenji being prosecutor. Godot Kenji. So Godot, from Sonya Becker's play Waiting for Godot. So they managed to, that is the actual reference, and that's how, that's what it became. And then we have Kaijin Kamen Masku. So translated as Mask Star Damask in the official translation. They were going to call him the Mysterious Mask. I think Master Mask is definitely a better name though. And then Famous University attempt at translating the pun. So this is actually I actually looked this up because these two characters are read as Yume, which means famous, but famous is spelled with two different characters. So it's like a pun on Famous University. And the way they translated that in the official translation was Ivy University, which is like a pun on Ivy League universities. But as I think I said in the first part, I am British, we don't have Ivy League universities. Our most prominent universities are called Russell Group universities, and I go to one of them actually. And then the top of those is Oxbridge, so Oxford and Cambridge. So I'm not sure how a British pun would do it, but they decided to go for something basically famous university. This is the Sylvanian blatantly fun gradually. It's not so crucial anymore because the search one place can always perform to make things consistent. So yeah, that's the translation guidelines. We'll go to downloads. The translation patch is that you can still download the source code and translation tools, but the translation patch is not going to be able to download at the DS game. Sorry I played it, but it was still available on romhacking.net, and I think everyone here has already bought Trials and Tribulations perfectly legally. Now, more likely they've bought the trilogy because it's just more common to buy it's a trilogy these days. That's pretty much it though. We've had a nice little deep dive into the fan translation. As I've said, an interesting piece of Ace Attorney history. The fact that they were able to come together and even go as far as to make that first case, I thought was quite impressive. It just shows you like how like a niche sort of fandom can sort of grow, because the fandom's massive today. We have, if you've seen anything on my channel before, playing fan games. It's great. I love it. And it would have been interesting to have been part of it when it was sort of a fledgling niche little thing, hadn't even been translated into English yet. But we had a little glimpse into that world here, and I'm glad you could join me for it.
And thank you for watching. And if you enjoyed, you can go and check out maybe some of my fan case playthroughs on this channel. Next episode, I might be doing something a little bit different, which is still tangentially related to Ace 20 fan cases, or one in particular. I'm not fully decided on when I'm going to make that into a video yet, but you'll find out next week anyway. So I'll see you later. Bye bye.